Hey there and welcome to Get Indie Gaming and to this showcase of the top 20 best looking indie games you can play at EGX London 2019. EGX is the UK's biggest gaming event of the year, taking place this October 17th until the 20th, with it showing everything from AAA blockbusters to hundreds of incredible indie games and much, much more. So without further delay, let's get cracking with this EGX 2019 rundown. Coming in at number 20 and found on the main show floor, we have Hollow Knight Silksong, which most of you will already know is the sequel to the much loved and multi-award winning Hollow Knight. As before, you play as the lethal hunter Hornet, where here you'll discover new lands, new powers and multiple hordes of beasts and secrets linked to your past. Hollow Knight will come to Steam and the Switch in 2020. Up next, and squashing their grapes within the ever-wonderful Left Field Collective, which is usually my highlight area of any EGX, 100 Days is a wine-making management sim, where every decision from the grapes you grow to the time of harvesting and everything else within the wine-making process all influences the quality of the vino you produce. Wrapped in nostalgia and tradition, this looks like a fine way to unwind after a long, hard day at the office. It's coming to Steam some point soon. At number 18, and another one from the main show floor, No Straight Road brings what the developers are calling the harmony of music and video games without using a rhythm game mechanic. Here they're talking about an action game with similar methods to Devil May Cry and Nier Automata. I really have no idea how this will all pan out, although I intend to find out much more as soon as I can. Up now at number 17, Tracks the Train Set game comes to Steam this November 14th. It certainly reminds me of my Brio train sets when I was a boy, and it comes with a variety of game modes and free play where there's plenty of things to keep any model railway fan happy for a long time. At number 16, and next up, we have Yes, Your Grace. Here is a kingdom management RPG where your decisions as king have profound effects on your subjects. Everything you do and decide impacts those of your kingdom, and remember, not everybody has your or your kingdom's best wishes at heart. Heading on back to the Left Field Collective, at number 15 we have Reiki. This is a minimalistic isometric puzzler which is out now on iOS. Here you move a rubber ball around the level from beginning to exit while navigating logic puzzles to progress. It's one of the better puzzle games out on mobile of late and comes without adverts or any of the usual trash normally associated with mobile gaming. At number 14, Kung Fu Jesus, or is it Jesus, is labelled as a genre-busting action-adventure fighting game unlike any other. Coming from folks who worked on Disco Elysium, Jenny Leclerc and Crossing Souls, it'll offer an intense martial arts-led experience and is set to come to home PCs via Steam at some point next year. Now, fans of the channel will know I love my couch co-op game, and at number 13 we have Moving Out, which can be found within the Rezzed Arena. Reminding me something similar to Overcooked, here you get involved in all manner of house moves and relocations, with it coming to Steam and the Switch in 2020. This all looks proper bonkers and might be one of the show's hidden highlights. At number 12, we're headed back to the main show floor with Ouija, the work of a single developer, with it coming soon to Steam and all of the major consoles. This 2D pixel art game sees you pull off devastating combos in epic combats in a strange and mysterious environment. Coming up now at number 11, Across the Grooves is an interactive graphic novel. Here you play as Alice within an unremarkable life, until one day her ex-lover comes back into it by way of an old vinyl record. When Alice takes it for a spin on her turntable, she's taken back into her past and forced to go over and relive old events. When arriving back in the present, her reality has changed. It's a journey of self-discovery and adventure and can be found within the Left Field Collective. At number 10, A Ton of Feathers is something I first saw back in April at the Resd event in London, and I'm keen to see more. Essentially, you play through multiple novellas, with it examining creativity and loss, and the medium of games themselves. It's the first and only VR game to feature in this countdown, and comes from the legendary Ben Lenato in what's being called his last planned solo project. At number 9, Welcome to Elk comes to Steam next year, where you play as Frigg, a young carpenter travelling to the island of Elk to undergo an apprenticeship. She's used to the hectic life of a city, so how she will cope in the tranquil surroundings of the island with few young people and no internet, well, that's what we're going to find out. Everyone you meet has a story to tell in what at times are dark and harrowing experiences full of mature adult content. But don't let that put you off. I'm thinking Welcome to Elk could turn out to be something rather special. At number 8, in Eldest Souls, we have in what the developers themselves are calling a pixel art Souls-like RPG, where the player explores a vast forgotten citadel in search for the imprisoned old gods. Stuffed full with NPCs, quests and mysteries to uncover with a fast and deadly combat, success is said to come to those favouring a bold and aggressive playstyle. At number 6, Bird of Passage is essentially a ghost story that sees you travel around Tokyo after sunset, all within different taxicabs. It's essentially a narrative game with beautiful art style and elements of Japanese history, all written together with clever and conversational dialogue. At number 7, and one of the visually most striking games on display at this year's EGX, Recompile is a Metroidvania-inspired hacking battle adventure where you take control of an AI program and try to escape its deletion. I got to see this at Gamescom and found it a fun, if a little frantic game in places. However, it should appeal to many with it shooting onto Steam next year in 2020. Going into the last 5, we begin with Paradise Killer, which is a free-form open-world first-person exploration game. You're here to investigate the mass murder of the island's ruling council by assembling the evidence in any order you wish. Paradise Killer also comes with a fully interactive story and features plenty of cryptic puzzles, including an alien long-dead language which you need to learn. Sounds interesting? I can't wait to play. At number 4, in Reiki, we have an adventure game inspired by Scandinavian folklore, with it being a dark fairy tale underpinned by a touching narrative with an alluring art style that seems to create a feeling of menace and yet provides enough of an atmosphere to underpin the overall exploration. You play as Tova as she goes on a journey to save her family, all in within a world steeped with creatures that shouldn't exist. This comes out TBA onto home PCs and the Nintendo Switch. At number 3, Alelus has me really rather transfixed. It's a stargazing, gardening game with the central tenet about knowing what it means to be alone in the universe. It uses constellation-based puzzles and sees you growing plants, and you'll also be able to decorate your island into a wholesome and lush space. You'll also be able to join a digital commune of gardeners and connect your creations with others in space and time. This year's EGX Best Looking Indie Game runner-up is Skatebird, which comes to Steam in 2020, and yes, that's right, here we have a cute-looking bird and their skateboard. You'll explore plenty of bird-sized skate parks while using a simple and familiar control system. While it's clearly nothing too serious, I really love just pretty much everything about it. It looks so wonderfully silly and very perfect for playing in moments where you just want to have some fun without having to think too deeply. At number 1, in what really is my most anticipated game of the show, Circuit Superstars is a top-down, physics-driven racing game out next year on Steam and all of the consoles. Circuit Superstars will offer a huge variety in motorsport antics, from 60s era single-seaters to modern GT powerhouses. Even if you haven't played these type of games before, as I suspect many of you will have done so, this really should be on your list to go and see at the show, and if you're not there, be sure to check out the links for this game and everything you see in this video down in the description. So that's it for my rundown of the top 20 games I'm looking forward to playing and seeing at this year's EGX. I'd be hugely interested to see which ones you liked and whether you're going to the show. If you do, well, I might just see you there. In any case, let me know down in the comments where I read everything you wonderful people post. Until next time, please click that like button and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you all again here soon for more indie game videos.